Hello, dear ones. We are Laarkmaa, and we are here because we love you and we wish to support you on your evolutionary journey. We give messages in our international live calls and give you the opportunity to speak with us to gain our Pleiadian perspective on human evolution and the raising of consciousness. We now are offering things as well to expand your understanding at the larger levels of your true reality. We would like to introduce you to a colleague of ours in today's message, someone that you may find extremely intriguing and very appropriate in the energetic struggles you are experiencing at this point of your journey. It is our great pleasure to introduce you to Dr. Antonis. He is a Lemurian healer. He has human lifetimes and Lemurian human lifetimes and multiple other experiences from many parallel dimensions. Dr. Antonis would like to speak to you to see if he can give you insights and suggestions for how you may empower yourselves to heal yourselves, to become stronger in who you are as you continue this journey of your evolution in consciousness and moving towards rainbow body in the physical. That's our term, of course, from the Pleiadian perspective. But as Dr. Antonis will tell you, we share many perspectives in regards to your evolutionary path. It is now our great pleasure to introduce you to Dr. Antonis, and we leave you for the moment. We love you. Good always. Greetings. I am Dr. Antonis, and as my colleague and dear friends, Laarkmaa, have said, we share similar perspectives. But because I have human experience and Lemurian experience and multiple other dimensional experiences, some of my perspectives may be more relevant to what you are experiencing or understanding now. The first thing I would like to start with, as I discuss Lemurian healing, is a geography lesson to dispel some of the myths and lies that you have had and the questions you have had as a species about exactly where Lemuria was in its existence on your planet and its relationship to Atlantis. Some of you may know this, and some of you may have found other information which is confusing. But when Atlantis made such poor choices with their advanced technology, what they did to blow up their own continent also caused Lemuria to sink into the sea. I tell you this because many of you think that is too far or improbable, given your current geographical understanding of distance. Atlantis was, and I use the terms was and will be and is all in future, past, and time references very loosely, because as Laarkmaa has explained to you, time does not exist. But for your understanding from your perspective in third dimension, I will use past and future terms to help you grasp these concepts. So in your understanding of linear time, Atlantis was on the place closest to the Mediterranean, near Greece, Santorini particularly, spreading across up to Ireland, and then spreading west to what you now call the Bermuda Triangle. It was a very, very large continent. What you call North and South America did not exist in your continents at that time. So therefore, the next thing after Atlantis was a bit of stretch of ocean, and then Lemuria, which was over near what you now call your Hawaiian Islands. So the two continents were actually geographically very close, which explains in great detail, actually, why when Atlantis blew up its own continent, which was quite large, the ripple effect and the water of waves took Lemuria beneath the sea as well. Hopefully this will give you a better geographical feeling of where these two continents were in the dimensional experience that you have been told about of Atlantis and Lemuria. Atlantis is not a continent that existed at a different timeline than Lemuria. They were colleagues, and people from Lemuria were visited by Atlanteans who wanted to study and learn things that they knew. Unfortunately, the Atlantean people did not take back their information in a way that it was accepted or utilized. Many that we can express directly who some of them were that you may know did take things that they needed and wanted to share with their country, with their civilization. However, the scientists in charge, just like the scientists in charge on your planet today, turned a blind eye and were not interested in pursuing that pathway of healing and technological advancement. They were only interested in pursuing what they were doing, which is what ultimately caused the demise of both continents. So we're going to tell you now, while you're in the same position of your scientists trying to lead you down another track of misuse of technology, how to incorporate the higher technologies of light that were in effect and that were available for healing in the Lemurian continent and the Lemurian civilization. The first thing that you need to know is that Lemuria has a very strong connection with the Pleiades. In fact, the biggest, largest Lemurian healing temple was directly in alignment with the Pleiadian star system, so that the energy and starlight of the Pleiades shone down into the Lemurian healing chambers at all times. Energy in the daytime, starlight at night. That is a very strong energetic connection. Those of you who listen to Laarkmaa also have a strong energetic connection to Pleiadian energy. So it seems very appropriate to me to share with you some information about the Lemurian Pleiadian connection so that you can incorporate that into what you know and what you wish to learn about advancing your own healing. The first thing to know about healing is that you are all, every one of you, capable of healing yourselves. You have been trained through what Cullen calls bad training and through a group of scientists who are aligned with a partial view of scientific principles without looking at the entire reality. You have been trained to believe and trust that you must look outside of yourself for help. That viewpoint has permeated religion, science, medicine, education, everything. Even parents teach their children to look to elders to gain wisdom, rather than teaching children to go into their own hearts to gain the wisdom that is already there from their divine connection to what you may call source, God, higher wisdom, whatever you wish to call that energy. It is part of you. And when you tap into that part of you, you are able to access a viewpoint of what is out of balance within yourself and what you must do to correct it. Looking outside of yourself for help is very disempowering. And yet, because of the current state of fear and humanity, you often run for help outside of yourself at the very first sign of anything going awry. The very first thing you should do, from my medical opinion, is to step into a place of quiet, listen to what is going on that your body is telling you, and then enter into your own sacred space of what do I need to do to rebalance and gain access to healing energies. That's the first step you need to do. What I wish to do is in complete and total alignment with what Laarkmaa is trying to do. Empower you to return to your full state of being able to heal yourself, to be able to evolve into the fullness and completion of who you are. One thing that you need to know is that all healing comes from frequency. You seem to be somewhat stuck in an idea of frequency in terms of third dimensional vibration. Whatever is familiar to you in the third dimension is the vibration in which you seek healing. And yet many of the problems that you have come from being out of frequency, harmony with the earth herself. The earth is moving into higher and higher frequencies, which Laarkmaa will speak about and has spoken about previously. But these frequencies on your planet are not in alignment with the frequencies that you cling to, hoping for healing. So therefore, you must open your perceptions and be willing to receive frequencies that are in a different range from that to which you are accustomed. One very good way to do this is through accepting and understanding the power of sound. Sound is a prime example of how frequency can penetrate the cells of your body, how frequency can make a difference in what is out of harmony within you. Sound healing is beneficial. Laarkmaa has taught you about the power of sound through toning, and this is something that you can access whenever you feel out of balance or ill, simply by toning to yourself and explaining to your cells of your body that you're inviting in the tones that are most resonant with what you need to correct within you. You can also join hands and tone together, magnifying the impact of the frequency of sound as it finds a resonant harmonic within the sound system of frequency you are approaching. These are things that will help you a great deal. Recognizing also that your patterns and tones of speech and the words that you choose to use in your speech also are a tone or a frequency that can either cause angst, disruption, and disharmony and illness in your body, or calm, connection, peace, and healing in your body. This is important, for as Laarkmaa has told you about speaking each other into being, you also speak yourself into being. Every moment of every day, every word that you utter, every tone that you use, whether you are groaning because of difficulty or exclaiming from joy, all of these tones help you to either move further into disharmony and more illness, or to align yourself with the higher frequencies and healing that is possible for you. These are Lemurian principles that are important for you in moving forward. You must empower yourself because you are capable of self-healing. While it is appropriate and proper for you to receive alternate perspectives and integrate them into your own wisdom of understanding, the one step that you clearly must take is to move away from surrendering all of your decision-making as relying upon something outside of yourself. That must be given up. You must surrender that and move instead into an alliance of perspective where you take in what others offer: Lemurian healing, Pleiadian perspective, medical things that resonate with you from an alternative and natural approach, not from traditional Western medicine approach, and your own body's wisdom, which is, of course, the most important. You will need to examine how you speak. You will need to examine how you think. You will need to examine what you drink. You'll need to examine what you choose to eat. In short, in the Lemurian healing way of bringing yourself back into balance, everything needs to be in harmony. You cannot follow the way that your cultures have trained you to separate and specialize, looking at one segment or another segment of the totality of who you are. If you have a stomach ache, it's not something that needs to be ignored, but looked at only as treating the stomach either. You need to say, what's causing the stomach ache? Where in my body am I out of balance? Is it only what I'm eating, or is it because I'm emotionally upset, or is something in pain in another part of my body that needs to be realigned that causes the stomach pain? If you're having heart issues, you not only need to look at your diet to see what you're eating, as your heart specialists encourage you to do, but you must also look at, am I in nature enough? Am I connecting to nature? Am I connecting to those that I love? Am I stressed over my job or my relationships? Is something wrong with my kidneys because I don't drink enough fluid and therefore my heart is out of balance? In other words, Lemurian healing, which is what I am here to share with you, incorporates a complete and total picture of all aspects of who you are. You cannot heal one part of yourself without directly connecting and considering all other parts that may be out of balance. So in today's message from the Pleiadian viewpoint, which I share with the Pleiadian group Laarkmaa, and the Lemurian viewpoint, which has long been my basis of healing, and the human connections that I have shared and gathered through my experiences of being human as a physician on your planet. With all of these things combined together, I offer you these suggestions with the most sincere wish that you move forward in a way that instructs, that helps, that supports, and ultimately empowers you to heal yourselves. I will be back in another conversation at another time, and will introduce you to my wife, who can also explain some sound frequency healing to you at another time. I feel you have enough to incorporate in expanding your wisdom and your empowerment now. And I would like to thank Laarkmaa for their excellent and wonderful recommendation and introduction of me as Dr. Antonis, bringing true Lemurian healing to you. Good day, and I will be with you again soon. With love, this is Dr. Antonis.